Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, EQ Nostalgia here, and today I want to offer you guys my initial impressions of Metal Gear Solid 5. So first things first, we're going to talk about the graphics. Obviously the graphics in this game are phenomenal. They look really, really good, and you know, I know there's games out there that do look better, but you're going to be hard-pressed to find an open-world game with much more detail than this, considering how vast the world is. It looks amazing. It looks really, really good. But what really stands out to me is how good the clothing looks. You know, the details on the fibers in your clothing, the details in his beard. It's not like NVIDIA Hairworks or anything is going on here. Nothing that crazy like what we saw with The Witcher 3. The way that the hair can look in that is just insane. But definitely really, really nice clothing. Textures on the clothing, it just looks great. Textures overall look really good. I like the fact that the weather effects and stuff come and go dynamically. Graphically, obviously, those look impressive. But the system they have in place here, the night and day system, while that's something that's been in games going way back, it's nice to see that in a Metal Gear Solid game, and I believe it's the first time. I don't recall it ever being in any of the other games. Although, to be fair, I haven't played Peace Walker on PSP. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've seen the whole dynamic weather and night and day cycles, and I really appreciate that. It changes the gameplay significantly. You know, when you go into a village and it's broad daylight, and then you do the same thing at night, not only is it harder for them to see you, it's harder for you to see them. And at night, it is pretty difficult to see. I'm going to assume that we're getting night vision goggles at some point. I'm sure we will. I like the fact that there's collectibles scattered around. That gives you a little something extra to do. You can go around and gather all sorts of stuff. So, gameplay-wise, it's just amazing. I mean, it's the best Metal Gear Solid has ever been. And I like that little effect when you're coming out of a darker place out into the light. It adds that little effect that you would expect to have in real life, like just the shock of the sunlight. It's just, you know, in my opinion, this is the best Metal Gear Solid's been in terms of gameplay. Story-wise, I can't really comment on the story. The prologue was amazing, and I know there's some people who said they didn't like it so much. I don't want to spoil anything in case you haven't seen it, but I did do a reaction video for the prologue, and I'm gonna link that up for you guys to check it out. The prologue just was insane. It was just amazing. A really good way to open the game. The only other prologue to a game that I liked that much would have to be The Last of Us. Two really, really, really good games with really good prologues. So, in terms of controls, the controls are very tight, especially if you're using the controller. I haven't messed with the keyboard too much, to be fair. I did a little bit, and it feels really awkward. The aiming is better. It's obviously because you're using the mouse, but the movement and stuff, it takes some getting used to, so I'm going to have to mess around with that. But control-wise, with the controller, if you're not new to Metal Gear Solid, it might take you a little time to adjust to it. For me, I fell right into it immediately. It took me like 10 minutes to get to where I was doing everything fluidly. You know, learning the controls on the horse. You can see in the beginning when I first started, I wasn't certain how to spur your horse to make him go faster. And that brings me to another point. This game reminds me a lot of Red Dead Redemption. And it's kind of like somebody took Red Dead Redemption, and then the whole Outpost thing reminds me of Far Cry. And then you just add that in the Metal Gear Solid universe, and you've got Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. That's how I could best describe it with my limited time. And I've only begun like this first mission here at the time of this first impressions video, because what I actually did is I stopped and I went back and played Ground Zeroes to get all the VIPs extracted, or all the POWs, whatever you want to call them, so they would be available from Mother Base. So this is not going to be my final review. I'm probably going to have that up somewhere down the line. I don't plan on rushing through this, so if you're looking to get a review from me within a few days, that's just not going to happen between work and everything. And the fact that this is not going to be a short game. But I can see infinite replay value here. There are just so many different ways to approach these missions, and I really appreciate that. So in terms of weaponry, this is your standard Metal Gear Solid stuff. You know, you've got your tranquilizer, you've got your main assault weapon. and it feels just like a Metal Gear Solid game should feel. Switching between your gadgets feels really good. You can do that with the D-pad. On the keyboard, it's a little more. I haven't really messed with it much, so like I said, that takes getting used to. And I do want to play with a mouse and keyboard because when online play comes out, I think people are going to be, the ones that are going to be doing really good are going to be the ones using the mouse and keyboard, if only because the mouse is just much more accurate for shooting people. So that's something I'm going to have to check out, but that's a ways off. Metal Gear Online is not coming out till October for consoles and January, I heard, for PC. So not till next year on PC. Really sucks, but with the replayability here, I can see myself remaining entertained until that time comes. I'm definitely dying to get in and check it out, but it's kind of a good thing because I don't feel like I need to rush through this so I can get online. I was concerned with that. I was thinking, before I knew that it was going to be separately released, I was thinking, wow, online's going to be calling to me the whole time I'm playing this, but that's not going to be the case. There is a PvP mode with Mother Base where people can invade your base and you can invade theirs. I have not messed with that at all yet, and I'm assuming that's going to be pretty fun. It could be something that's like an annoyance, but it reminds me of Dark Souls where players can invade your game world. So that's interesting, and I will be having more on that in the future. On the performance side of things, the game is running at pretty much a constant 60 FPS. You cannot go above 60 FPS, and I know some people are upset about that. It doesn't bother me at all. I gotta be honest, it doesn't bother me. Maybe that's because I'm coming from a console background and I'm still pretty new to PCs. I think it looks fine. It looks fine to me. The Fox engine is running great, and it seems like it's really well optimized. I've heard from other people that this is running on pretty much maximum settings for a wide range of systems. You don't need anything too intense to play the game. I mean, a low performance PC is obviously going to have trouble with it, but the optimization is really nice, and I think that's important. A lot of games, they don't understand that most people don't have an insane PC. But I'm running this right now on the highest settings. It has not gone down below 60 FPS at all, as far as I've noticed. It might dip down like a frame or two, but yeah, I haven't noticed anything at all. So if you're worried if you can run this, I can say that the Fox engine is very well optimized, and I don't think the majority of the people who get the game are going to have a problem. However, there is an issue going on right now with people who have older processors. I'm not certain about the details, but some people have been experiencing crashes with the game. So if you have an older AMD processor, I believe this is an issue with AMD only. I'm not positive, but you're going to want to look into it. Do some research before you get it on PC, because if you get it and it doesn't run and it crashes on startup, you're going to be bumming, man. I haven't had any issues at all. Runs like a dream. No issues, no crashing, no nothing. So, and I do know that they've patched the game already. There are patches coming out for it, and the support has been good so far from what I've seen. But yeah, performance-wise, just top marks for me. I will be continuing to cover this game. I'm going to have a full review for it, as I stated before. I want to get a review out for Metal Gear Online when that comes out, and a first impressions video. So if this is your first time to my channel, I ask that you please subscribe. I will be covering this extensively. If you enjoyed this video, I ask that you please leave a like. I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.